Unmute me. Hello. Okay. All right. We're going to keep going here. How's everybody doing? Check my deal here. Here, get a Kleenex. Getting our stuff together here, guys. Blocks, blankets, pillows. And we are recording. Let me see. No, I am recording. I'm recording me. Good. All right. First class is Zoom. Today is Monday, the 31st. Is that right? What is the date today? We're in the middle of a coronavirus. This is like my, I think this is going on my the second week of quarantine. It's the 30th. No one's here yet, but I'm waiting for people to come join. Hopefully people will, and I'm doing it right. This is Restorative Mindfulness Yoga by Lisa McCarville. I am a yoga teacher, trained teacher, and I also have studied massage therapy. I have a background in movement, dance. I was a dancer when I was a kid. I danced all up until high school. And I didn't go into it as a profession. I ended up going in a little into modeling. I got too tall to be a professional dancer, so I got into modeling and then acting and then stand-up comedy. I always liked acting, though, even when I was a kid doing dance. So I studied massage therapy, studied acting, then went into liberal arts, and then have gone on to study education. And I have studied Montessori education and Waldorf, kind of an autodidactic at it. I buy the books and read them and talk to people, but I haven't gone through like formal training with that. However, I have spent hours studying the books and manuals and reading Montessori and Rudolf Steiner's work and early education and pedagogy, which I don't think if I had gone to college, I would have gotten that kind of education. The education for teachers is very different than what I studied, and I came into it because really I had studied a little bit before I had Connor, but once I had Connor and I saw that he was not doing well in public school and with the way that public school educated children, it was just sort of a natural shift to holistic education. And I was able to find a grant for him, and that was really a life changer, to have the money to buy what you think will work and try it right away without going through a committee and an IEP process. For those of you who don't know me, I am a mother of 2 children that are biological, and my youngest child that was born when I was 38 had autism, and we knew something was up with Connor right away. So it was just very, it was very life-changing in a good way. I think he's my teacher. I think you can look at life as a blessing or as a curse, and I prefer to look at life as a blessing and to see the goodness and the grace and the love and the learning that is in any situation if we're open our hearts to it and are receptive. And while we're waiting for people to get here, hopefully people come. This is the very first class I'm teaching on Zoom, and I've been teaching it on Facebook, and I want people to come to Zoom because I think it's a lot easier to be interactive here than it is on Facebook. So hopefully people will be able to figure it out that want to come. Let's see, I was just going to try to invite people. Let me see something. I'm going to go into Facebook and see if anybody is there. Just real quickly here. I don't see anyone there either. So maybe I just can't expect people to come here. I don't know. I'm going to go back to my screen and just keep recording like there are people here. And hopefully, if you build it, they will come. So I'm thinking a lot about peace. And I had gone through some training this year for at the Francescan Center. Actually, I've been doing it for over a year. I kind of let it down here lately. I went through, I don't know, maybe 6 different classes for this degree that they offer on nonviolent leadership training. And just got busy with other stuff and kind of put it down. And this was something, I don't know if they gave this to me or I just heard it, but I'd written it down in my yoga book, and I'm pretty sure it must have come from some of the nonviolent training. But this is from a website called mediate.com, and everything is mediation, which it's not meditation, it's mediation. But this is it about peace, on peace. Peace is not just about the absence of conflict. It is also about the presence of justice. A counterfeit peace exists when people are pacified or distracted or so beat up and tired of fighting that all seems calm. But true peace does not exist until there is justice, restoration, forgiveness. Peacemaking doesn't mean passivity. It is an act of interrupting justice without mirroring injustice. The act of disarming evil without destroying the evildoer. The act of finding a third way that is neither fight nor flight, but the careful, arduous pursuit of reconciliation and justice. It is about a revolution of love that is big enough to set both the oppressed and the oppressors free. This is a common prayer, a liturgy for ordinary radicals, and it's by Shane Claiborne and Jonathan Wilson Hartgrove. So, that's very, to me, very moving anytime. I think about some of those things like Occupy Wall Street and Occupy movements that happened around, where it was a passive, not really passive, but this is what they were doing, right? They were finding a voice for the masses. They even developed a language that they would repeat each other's words to give each other voice and be heard. So something to think about. I think that we need to look for the models of this peaceful living and what that's going to look like for us. So maybe something to think about during our meditations today is, how can we bring more peace into our life? Or how can we be more peaceful? And I think it begins at home. So what a better place to start this. I know with this virus, this quarantine, it can be looked at as a horrible thing, social isolation, and people are lonely, but it also can be looked at as a great growth opportunity for us to go inside, to become quiet, to start thinking about some of these things. I believe in self-improvement, whether it be learning, lifelong learning, finding the joy of something and pursuing it. And I think if we're going to shift in our evolution as human beings, we're going to have to come back to this quiet, still, internal time of self-reflection, of finding out what we're really feeling, what we really want, what we really need, what we really love. Sometimes in the hub of work and pursuing and pushing ourselves, we're making other people happy. We're producing for other people. We don't even know what we want or what we love or what we need. We're so far removed from being able to ask that question of ourselves. So maybe now's the time to do that for yourself, to find an opening to be able to live more authentically and to pursue peace, so that when we come and do these meditative, peaceful meditations, it's easier to access, to get to that peace place, because we know where that is. We know the way. we know more about ourselves. And everybody has their own journey to go on. You know, I'm not trying to make anyone, push anyone, but I do think it's important for us to practice peace. And it fits in with what we do here in restoration yoga, restorative yoga, restoration yoga, restorative yoga and yin poses and mindfulness is we're searching inside. We're going into a reflective space of inner reflection. You know, it's just a different practice, I think, than a lot of other yogas where that are more movement and you're wearing your body out. This is really getting down and being with yourself and sitting with yourself. So let's get started. Let's come to a easy sitting position. You have your nest around you. I have dogs, and there are 4 of them, 3 Chihuahuas and a Zolo, exquisitely, and they are all around. You'll see them. Yes, they bark. Oh, and let me get my music. So hopefully you have all your props. We talked a little bit about it on Facebook. I'm going to go over it here. This is restorative yoga. You definitely need props. I have a big space so I can spread out. I have 2 yoga mats, one going this way and one going this way at about chest level, because we go down a lot in chest level in this class. I'm really tall, and yoga mats don't really fit me. I kind of hang off my yoga mat. I need to get a bigger one. You're also going to need, if you don't have yoga mats, you could put a blanket down. We're not going to be standing up, so you're not going to be sliding apart around, but you definitely want something between you and the floor. And if you're laying on the floor, you can't really relax, get into this restorative poses. In my house, I have tile everywhere, and it's cold, but maybe you have carpet. But do put something between your face and the carpet. If you're laying on carpet, just so that you're not breathing in the carpet fibers and dust. And you can take an Afghan off your bed or something and lay it down on the ground and lay on it if you need to. You know, the floor is dusty and dirty. You want to stay clean with this virus. I bleach water my floors. I just did it before this practice because my husband works out in law enforcement. And he's everywhere, and we're really working hard trying to keep the floors clean. So you want to think about putting something down so that you're not on your bare floor too right now during this virus time. I have, it'll give you a chance to do that. I have it's like a half moon yoga pillow that I sit on. You don't have that, and many of us don't, and a lot of times I don't have it either because the dogs have it or something, but this is a blanket. It's a throw blanket, and I folded it in half, and folded it over, and folded it again, and made a rectangle, which I can sit on to raise my hips slightly. Many people feel better in this position to have their hips up. I have a lot of arthritis in my body. Sometimes it feels better for me to have a blanket folded like that again in front of me for my legs to be up too. You might find that your hips need to be higher. You might find that you're going to need something underneath your knees at this point. I have yoga blocks that I put underneath my knees. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can use pillows. I recommend using 2 pillows that are the same. It's just easier and you feel more symmetry and balance if you're on the same height, all right? These pillows are just off my bed. They're kind of soft. I'm pretty flexible, so I don't need a lot of height. In restorative yoga, we call it raising the floor. If you're not flexible, if you're tight, you can't sit like this and be comfortable. So you have to get things underneath you to prop you up. And now these are yoga blocks, and they can be put on the ground like this, or like this, or like this. They're made out of foam that are kind of keep it from scooching. They're like under $5 at Walmart. You might want to buy yourself some. You can put those underneath your legs, but you're going to see I've got this. This is the baby setting. This is the mama setting. So I got it the medium setting. I'm going to put it underneath, kind of in a comfortable place. You know, if it's not, doesn't feel good, you can't get to that meditative theta zone, which we're trying to do, right? That's where we want our mind to be. All right. So we're going to just work on some breath work here. We're going to do that in just silence. So take some deep breaths. If you like, you can shut your eyes, or you can take soft gaze. Soft gaze in yoga is where we don't really focus our eyes. We might look 2 or 3 feet down on the ground in front of our mat. And just do a soft focus so that we're not looking around cognitively watching things or paying attention. We're going into that kind of forced theta zone. And we're going to breathe. Now, right now, I have my hands just softly on my knees. These are called mudras, how you hold your hands in yoga. We're just going to have soft hands. You can have them down, or you can have them up, or you can have them in your lap. I love this mudra where I put my right hand, which looks like my left, but it's my right, on top of my left softly, and just fold my thumbs in my lap. And I kind of have my forearms on my leg. Now I want my spine slightly erect. I want my shoulders not up, but back and down. I lift from my heart. Now, when you do that, you're kind of engaging your core, right? You're lifting your body up. You're really using your back muscles to hold you up. So I want you to kind of move and get soft with it. Your stomach is supposed to be soft in some of these poses, or not relaxed, or relaxed. In this particular pose, your stomach has to be slightly engaged, especially up in the solar plexus to hold your body up, your head and your chest and your arms. So just come here and elongate your neck. Find some elongation in your spine, right? Let it go back to its natural kind of integrity, but always be looking for space. Relax. Look at my thumbs. I got tight. I'm going to relax my hands. Now I'm going to relax my eyes, relax my face, relax my jaw, and breathe. That simple thing, breathing. Now I want to start to deepen my breath. I'm going to count in to 8. I want you to breathe in with me to 8. Then we're going to hold it for 8. And then we're going to exhale for 8. And 8 can seem like a lot. So you've got to go slow. So you can breathe in through your nose or your mouth, whatever you've got today. Preferably nose. Well, let's do this. Let's breathe in. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And exhale slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And do it again. Inhaling for 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And holding it for 8. And remember, if you can't, just do 6, 7, 8. And exhale slowly. 6, 7, 8. And inhale again. 2, 3, 4. Deeply. Keep feeling, keep feeling. Now hold it, 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 hold it. Now exhale. Slowly control it. Diaphragm, lungs, throat, sinuses. Blow it out. Good. Do it one more time. Inhaling for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a deep breath. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now hold it. Support it with your diaphragm, your solar plexus. 5, 6, 7, 8. And exhale slowly. 1, 2. Good. 5, 6, 7, 8. Good, good. Now just breathe normally. Maybe move a little bit. Deep breathing right now with the virus is so important. It's going to keep your lungs clean. You know, breathing is good for you anyway, but you want more oxygen in your blood so that your immune system can fight what's might be coming. You also want to drink a lot of water. I have my warm water, which is maybe still warm, that I've been sipping all day. I get up and down and put that tea kettle on and get hot water and drink it and sip it all through the day. Warm water is very good for us. Hot water is very good for us. I don't like lemon too much, so I don't put lemon in it, but a lot of people are. But I just love water, warm water. It feels good. I've heard several people say that warm water is better for you than cold, warm liquids. Excuse me. All right. So I'm going to go back to the music here. Let's do a quick om. Let's breathe in for om. Put your hands together at your heart, rub them a little bit, and then put their thumb right at our heart chakra. And our shoulders are turned out, back and down. Lift from your heart, ground in your hips. Gonna take a big breath in when I count to 3. Big breath in, and then we're together. So here we go. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3. Breathing in. And beautiful. All right. Let's bring your hands down to your knees. Oh, I'm gonna have to turn on my speaker again. Let me get this. Here it comes. That's not very loud. All right. Lots of glitches with this. I'm not seeing anybody, so I'm not sure what happened, because we've been having lots of people come paying attention. Oh, I'm just going to keep going. So here we come back to the mat, comfortable position. Hope that music's not too loud. Okay. Straighten your spine. Lower your chin to your chest. Breathe. Bring your head up and turn to the left. Looking over your shoulder. Breathe. Open up those shoulders. Elongate your spine. Tilt your head down slightly, looking at the floor, just down by your elbow. Bend your head back up, straighten your neck forward, other side. To the right, breathe. Little simple twists, opening up the cervical spine. Now tilt your head down, looking down at the floor, just a micro bend. Bring the head back up and back to center. Now let's do some neck rolls, just softly going in a clockwise motion around, being very gentle with your head. If you want to put a little more body into it, if that feels good to you, sometimes I like to go with sort of a Sufi roll neck. Just very mindfully, very slowly noticing. And then exhale, let's go back the other way. Let's just start with neck. Here's just neck. Very gentle on yourself this morning. Keep going. Turn my lady down. She's gonna sing. Keep going. Okay, let's come back to neutral neck, okay? Let's lift the arms up and out and stretch. Stretch those arms, palms facing forward. Let's go from side to side, just a little wiggle here. Little Indian dance move, right? Tighten that core, keep that core tight. Feel that stretch, just a little. Okay, now the arms up in cactus, right? Hands are forward, shoulders are up and down. Don't let your shoulders get up by your ears. Bring them down, lift through that chest. Breathe. Good, feel it through your back. Try to go a little bit back, just a little, and look up. look up just a little bit. You don't have to go real far. Just to where it's comfortable for your body. Great. Let's bring our arms up over our head and clasp those fingers. Interlace those fingers together. Now we're going to bring our hands down behind our back with our elbows open. Right? Open those shoulders up. Stretch. Bring it back up. Clasp those fingers. If you can lock your elbows, great. If you can't, that's okay too. Shoulders are down. They're not up by your ears. They're down. Good. Now make prayer with the hands. Let's do it with prayer. Go behind your head. Let the prayer fall so it's pointing away from your head. Open those shoulders up. Shoulders are down. Get a good stretch. Breathe. Breathe. Let's bring it back up. Great. Let's bring it back open. Let's cross them in front. So I have my right over my left. I'm going to bring my elbows up. I'm going to inhale them up. Stretch them out. Exhale them down. Big breaths. Count to 8. Big breaths. Gentle. Gentle. Inhale up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And down. 2, 3, 4. Exhaling. 5, 6, 7, 8. Open those arms up. Inhale. Big inhale. Hold it. Hold it out here. And shake your hands. And let them come down. And exhale. So good. Let's go back and do some more shoulder work. Some side openers. I'm going to bring up the left hand up over the head. We're going to go to the left. I've got a yoga block here underneath my elbow, and I'm going on that yoga block and over. You can use a pillow or just put your hand on the floor and go over to wherever's comfortable. Maybe that's here for you. Maybe it's way down here. Maybe it's just here. Wherever your body feels comfortable, that's where you're going to go to. Stretch and open. Keep those hips grounded. Feel that. Breathe into it. If you feel pain, if you feel tightness, come up a little bit. But if it's just stretching, breathe into it. Breathe in. Breathing into the stretch means I'm going to inhale. See the area that's tight. Inhale. Inhale all the way into that area and exhale. Relax that area. Relax it. Let it go. Let it stretch. Let it open. Let blood get in there. Relax it. Relax it. Okay, gonna come back up, 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 and go to the other side. Reaching, reaching, we're not falling, we're reaching. We'll put an elbow down, the bringing the ground up to us. I've got my arm on a yoga block. You can use books for this if you've got a big dictionary, a couple of big books, load them up, put them on a non-slippery surface, and you can put your elbow on them. I use them for my back behind me too. If you don't have a yoga block, you can't do it from standing up, but you can do it here. Now I'm going to come back up. There's another twist to that, but we didn't do it today. We're going to do a forward fold. Now we're still in Sukhasana, or whatever that's like to you. Maybe you have your legs one bent, one out, both bent, or just an open cobbler pose. Sit how is comfortable to your body. If you're not used to yoga, you might not feel comfortable sitting position. You might not be able to sit on a mat and get up and down. You can do this in a chair too. I have here my broken chair that we haven't gotten rid of yet. You can see I've got pillows stuffed in there. We can do yoga in those chairs too. We can use the back of the couch for a fulcrum. You can do it from your bed. You can do it any way. You know, I would love to teach it from the bed, but I can't get up and down in the bed very well to show you the poses. So I'm on the floor, but I do it all the time in my bed. It's a different practice. It feels very much different when you're not on a hard surface, because your fulcrum pillow doesn't give you the same arc as it does on a hard surface, but it feels great. Okay, so we did this thing. We're going to go forward, fold arms up, 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 and over, and I'm going to put my legs back into my Sukhasana, and I'm going to go forward fold. I'm going to bend from my hip crease right here, not my back, not my shoulders, not stretching out too far, just coming down. I'm going to use my hands to support myself. I'm just going to go down to where it's comfortable, where I can still breathe, right? And I'm going to put my head down, so my spine is going to elongate now. I'm going to think about from the tip of my spine all the way up every vertebrae, finding space and room. Now, I'm not pushing down on the ground. I'm holding myself up with my stomach still. I'm just kind of using that ground lightly, right? Inhale, stretch it, stretch it. Exhale, lengthen, lengthen. Find more space in those hips. Keep those hips grounded. Now, we're going to lower a little bit lower. If it's available to you, you can drop your head and go all the way to the ground. Just go to where it's comfortable and you can breathe. If you can't breathe easily, you've gone too far into the stretch. This is about finding your limits, finding your space, knowing your body. You feel a lot of stretching going on in your glutes, maybe your hips, piriformis, psoas, lumbar, glutes and hips, right? Think about elongating down here too. Okay, big inhale. We're gonna walk your hands back up. How was that? Pretty good, huh? Let's do it again. Inhale, our arms up. Coming back down, forward fold. Keep that core tight. Well, if you've got a lot of weight like I do, you want to put your hands down so you protect your lower back, right? It's going to protect your lower back by putting your hands down. Not just going down, touching your head to the ground. Protect yourself. Now what we're going to do, we're not all the way down the low fold yet. We're just going to go, take it easy, don't hurt yourself. We're going to walk our hands. We're going over to the right, just in a little twist. You see that? And now I'm going to put my head down. Breathe, breathe. You're going to do 3 big breaths here. 1, 2, 3. Yummy, huh? Now let's walk over the other side. We're opening up the hips. Hips, sides, glutes, warming up our body. Now you can keep your back straight or you can curve it over. Whatever feels good to you. I like to drop my head. Keep going a little bit if it's not enough of a twist for you. This side for me is very flexible. The other side, not so much. 1 more breath. You're doing good. Bring yourself back. Come back over here. We'll walk our hands back up. Oh, gosh, darn. That feels pretty good. Okay. Just do what you can do. We're going to do 1 more, and then we'll start breaking into it. I want you to open your knees up to a staff position. So I'm sorry, put your feet in front of you. Put your feet right directly in front of you. I need to turn more lights on. Hang on just a second. This is our glitch broadcast to work it all out. I don't know if that helps or not, or if I just need to go back a little bit. How's that? There we go. That's good. I washed my floors and it's still dirty down here. Okay. Get back to my spot here. We're in our staff position, right? So I have my legs forward. I have on black pants, so you can't see too well, but they're just straight forward, right? This is like the top of our Uttanasana. If we were standing up, this would be half fold, right? We're going to go down into Uttanasana now. So bring your arms up over your head. Inhale up. Then we're going to bend from that hip crease just to where it feels comfortable. If you're not very flexible, you can have blocks here to push on. Trying to keep that back long. Trying to keep those feet flexed. Breathing. Go down to where it feels good. I'm not flexible in this position. Breathe. Now rotate your knees in just a little micro bit into each other so you're not in a turnout. So you can go a little bit further. You're going to get a different stretch on different parts of your hamstrings. There's 4 hamstring muscles, right? Is it 4 or 3? I can't remember. Inhale, up. Let's come up. Now, really bring that back into spine integris, right? And I'm going to put these on either side with my little yoga blocks. If you have books, you can do that too. And I'm going to take my hands into this mudra, right? Where they're pointing toward me, but they're behind my butt, right? Get back behind me. I'm gonna put them down the floor and bring my arms down, my shoulders down, and press, and I kind of hard. I want to get them close as I can to my behind, and I got this blanket here, so that's kind of hard. But I just want to feel this. This is my edge pose because I'm very tight here. So I'm flexing my feet. I'm bringing up the integrity of my spine. My head's got to come up. My chin's got to go back. I got to breathe. Inhale. I have those hands in the position. Now, if you don't need blocks, don't use them. I do need blocks. It's just a nice Iyengar stretch. You lengthen your spine, and breathe. Breathe. Oh, nice. Feel it? Stretch your back. Elongate that spine from your tailbone up. Pull out of your hip sockets. Go up. Flex your behind. Flex your glutes. Flex your quads. It's an engaged stretch, so it's different, right? My shoulders are down, but I'm kind of pushing down on the ground a little bit to get that great big arc. Because I want to feel that life force coming up through the earth in this pose. And this is where I first felt prana, one of the first poses. You can feel the energy of the earth going up your spine and into your body, right out the top of your head. You can really tune in on this one. So we're holding it for a little bit longer, right? Because this is restorative yin mindfulness. Great. You can let that pose go. Kind of move a little bit. Now, inhale those arms up. Let's go back down into forward fold. Uttanasana on the ground, right? Breathe. Tuck the head. Maybe a little bit of movement, a little bit of rotation of the legs. Are your legs together? Are they apart? Sometimes I like to line up my toes and knees, ankles, thighs, and do this stretch. It's the proper alignment, right? Feel that. Feel it all. Breathe into it. Big, deep belly breathing. All right, walk your hands back up. Maybe jiggle your legs a little bit. Let's put our legs in a V formation. And we're going to just jiggle them a little bit. And then we're going to do a meridian tap. We're going to go down the side of their bodies. And we're going to keep our hands soft. We're not hitting them hard. We're just pat, pat, all the way down the outside of the body, down to the feet, around the feet, up the inside of the leg, right? We're going to go up our bellies, up our sides. And we're going to go up our arm. Just kind of tapping, a little bit of tapping, across the body, go to that other arm, go underneath it, back down the body. Good. Shake it out, shake it out. Okay, let's get into some of our first poses here. Now, I wanted to go into a little bit what your mind does during these meditative long holds. We hold them between 4 minutes for if we're doing twists and stuff, but usually it's between 8 and 10 minutes are the holds. And it's real easy for your mind to wander and start thinking about what you need to do. So you need to get centered. You need to come back to that breathing in for 8 or even 6, because you really don't want to go quite so deep in these restorative poses. But you can count your breath, right? Count the inhales, count the exhales. That's something you could do for mind wandering. The other thing is trying to push yourself to think of vastness, to find an emptiness to think about. For me, that was relaxing, was just kind of doing like I'm a drone flying through the clouds, or a plane or a bird flying through the clouds. So I have that real bird's eye view of just sky and white, and kind of that's nothingness for me. And of course it's something, but it gets me into this zone that if I picture that in my head, I can instantly calm down. Maybe it's looking at the ocean inside of your head, the surf coming in. Maybe it's a beautiful island. Maybe it is the Grand Canyon. Maybe it is looking at a flower. But whatever it takes for you to get into that non-thinking, non-cognition flow, deep breathing. Another thing you can say to yourself is you can inhale and say, I am happy, and exhale and say, I am supported. These are in a way, they are mantras that will help to encourage and support you, like a positive affirmation. And if that one isn't meaningful to you, then find something that is. I am happy. I am loved. I am happy. I am healthy. And breathe it in and exhale it. These are things to do if your mind starts to go down a rabbit hole. Just notice if it does. Don't scold yourself. Don't shame yourself. Just try to come out and get back to that fastness. We want our brains not to be thinking of anything precisely, but just going in to that beta zone where you begin to see and have different kinds of thoughts. I won't say that there's nothing going on there cognitively, because there is. I just don't think it shows up on machines. So we know what we see, these brain waves that we call them theta or alpha or beta or gamma, but we're still not able to say, what are people seeing? Are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing in these meditative poses? Before we start, we're going to do our first meditation within the shape. Is going to be on scents. So if you brought a scent, an essential oil, or a herb, if you don't have an herb, I'm going to blow my nose because it is definitely allergy season in Arizona. Excuse me. And I am stuffed up. So I brought a few things. I have a garden in the backyard. Right now I have lots of herbs. I have mint, I have parsley, and I have Italian parsley, and I think I have a pretty good thyme too, lavender. I got some mint, and I'm just going to kind of take a leaf of that. Now, or it might be a rose that you have, or you can also do sound. Maybe you can hear a sound. But this particular one is just going to be on scent. If you have essential oil, you can put some of that in your hand now and rub it together. So we're getting a release of the fragrance, right? Now I'm really smelling this mint. I'm going to just breathe into my hands in prayer in front of my face. You know, if you're allergic to essential oils or they bother you, obviously don't do this. Just do it if it's okay. Now I'm going to open my hands. I'm going to smell my hands where I rubbed them off. Sorry, that's Chihuahua. Chihuahua, the alpha male fin. So just breathe that in. Just notice it. Exhale. One more breath. Come on, breathe in deeply. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And exhale. If you have any leftover essential oil, or you'd like to, just rub your feet, the tops of your feet with your hands. Get that scent. Now, my mint fell down. It was just a piece of mint. I'm just going to let it go. But this is an aromatherapy exercise, a little meditation. As we lay here, later on, I'm going to show you another meditation that is about 5 minutes that is for senses. But right now in this first one, we're just going to have a simple little heart opener here. So what I want you to do is to get your narrow bolster. You've made 2 bolsters, or maybe 3, hopefully 3. Your rolled towels, right? Your towel roll. So you want to get the smaller, softer one here, or you may want to get your big one you made. I made this great big one. You can use this if you want to. We're going to put it directly down the top of our mat. And I've got all these little blankets here. I'm gonna move my blankets out of the way. I still have another blanket that I lay on. Boy, it's really dirty too. Okay, so we're gonna put that big bolster down toward the top of the mat. Okay, I'm gonna come back down to seated position. I want you to see though. So here I've got it down, and it's not down horizontally, it's vertically this time. We're gonna take another pillow or a blanket. We're gonna put that up at the top here for our head support. I'm gonna have another roll or bolster down low for underneath my legs to keep me from sliding off this. I'm gonna move everything out of the way that I don't need. I'm gonna take one towel or blanket, something kind of height when it's folded, so that I can lift my sore shoulder off the ground. I have this shoulder that likes to freeze up and pop out. It feels like it's going to pop out. I'm going to stick it over here. I can keep my another blanket nearby to cover up with. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to do another dab of essential oil on my hands because the mint I'm noticing is not as potent. This is, put that back on my feet and on the back of my neck, up on my hair. Get a little, just a little more smell going here. Now I'm going to scooch back. This bolster is going to go right at the back of my sacrum. My whole sacrum is not going to be on it, just the top part up by the lumbar. So I'm going to find that area up against my bum, right, but not down low. I'm going to have this other bolster underneath my knees, and I'm going to pull it up toward my crease of my legs where they meet my butt so that I don't slide. I can stay down here. Now I'm going to lower myself. Lower, lower, lower. I got that one on here on the top for my head. I'm going to put that underneath my head. I'm going to get my spine right on the top of that bolster. That's why we want them stiff and stiff, right? And we want them to be more layers than just one, so we can get that fulcrum effect. Now, I'm going to open my arms up to the side, and I'm going to put the sore arm on the blankets. I'm going to give it another layer of blanket. And then I'm going to let go. I'm going to go into this ragdoll formation, just letting it go and breathing deeply, remembering my mantra, breathing in for 6, breathing in for 8, exhaling for 6 or exhaling for 8. And remembering the mantra of I am healthy, I am happy, exhaling I am healthy. And the vastness. I'm going to be here for 10 minutes. If you'd like, you could put another blanket over the top of you to get the cocooning effect. If you have an eye pillow, you could put that eye pillow on now to get that optic nerve. I love the cocooning effect, tucking in my feet, getting a swaddling going on with my body. It's kind of like deep pressure, binding. Gives you another layer to the restorative practice. I got my big bolster as my fulcrum so I can stretch out my shoulders. I have my hands at shoulder length level, palms up, going into that non-reactive fight or flight. We're triggering it, but we're breathing through it. If that's uncomfortable, bring your hands closer to your body, bring them down, but palms up. Let go. Deep belly breathing. One more minute in the pose. Begin to deepen your breathing, being more consciously aware of the room around you. Keep your eyes shut, but wiggle your fingers and your toes. Don't pop out of the pose. We're keeping this shape for a while. Rotate your ankles, rotate your wrists. Breathe deeply. We're going to take a big inhale and bring our arms up and cross them gently across the chest. Give yourself a little hug. Taking some of the pressure off those arms. We have them wide open. Now we're going to stretch them the other way. Inhale, bring our hands up, and then bring the other hand on the bottom, on the top, so you reverse it and hug yourself again. Good. Now bring your feet up. Stay on the bolsters on your back, but bring your feet up so they're flat on the ground. can knock your bolster that's under your knees back towards your behind so you have some room. And we're going to windshield wiper the knees back and forth. So I'm going to drop the knees to the right, and then I'm going to drop them to the left, and I'm going very slow. I have my hands down by the sides of my body to steady myself. I'm engaging my core a little bit, but I'm stretching the IB band from my hip down to my knee, my back, my psoas. Feel that. Let the weight take your knees over. Feel that stretch. Very slowly, maybe linger at the bottom of it for a while. Maybe look the other way. Head goes one way, knees another, so you're in a little twist. Relax and breathe on the way down and hold it and then come back up. Good, good. Okay, now we're going to take our left arm up toward the ceiling, and we're going to bring it across the midline of our body, and we're going to use the momentum of it to roll us off that big bolster. Okay, now we're down on our side, our knees are bent. Hang here for a second. Feel the benefit of what you just did. Feel it. Be honest with yourself. How did it feel? How do you feel? Notice it. When you're ready, you can kick off that blanket. You can use your leg. I'm going to use the momentum of my leg to pull myself up. Or you can push up with your hands. Woo! That was something, huh? Okay, that's called a heart opener. Heart openers are pretty tricky stuff. I've had some emotional releases in them. If you ever do have an emotional release, don't worry. It's normal. Just go with it. Allow it. Or not. Do what you need to do. Lots of people have them. Stuff comes up when you do long holds in these old shapes, these old forms. It's the reason people have been doing it for 4,000 years. It's not all about fitness. It's about wellness. So I really strongly encourage you to try the blanket, especially at the night classes when we really want to go into that, no light. It changes the practice. So I'm still not seeing anybody that came, and that makes me feel kind of sad. But for my first one, I guess it helped me to work out some kinks and see what the lighting, how it's differs than streaming on Zoom to Facebook. And I really think the screen and the definition is a lot better here than it is on Facebook. So I do think I need some more lighting though. Okay, but anyway, back to what we're doing here. Let's go forward. Now, this one's trickier without bolsters, but we're gonna do a forward fold and we're gonna do it in a V-shaped formation. So I'm gonna move everything off of my bolster, put it back to the side. This is where you're gonna need pillows. You might wanna grab a pillow off the couch even. So here we go. Here, I'm going into this V formation, and that can look different to other people. I'm pretty flexible here, so I can go with a pretty wide stance, but some people can't. Now I'm getting my biggest bolster, but what I really need are those yoga blocks. And again, if you don't have yoga blocks, in this case, if you have a blanket on your yoga mat, you might be able to get away with it with some books, but you could use a book that's like this thickness and this size if you don't have yoga blocks. Again, yoga blocks are very cheap. If you don't have yoga blocks and books aren't working for you, I'm going to stack mine like stairs. So I got the baby setting, and the mama setting. I'm going to put them in front of me. All right? And I'm pretty flexible. I can go down flat like this. I used to really could go totally flat. But as I age, I can't hold it for very long. And we're going to be holding this for 8 minutes. So I have to build up a platform so that I can really go to that theta zone restore. If I'm in pain and going on comfort or discomfort, you're not in theta. You're stretching, but you're not in theta. So remember, we're getting our brain into this. This is a whole brain. So I'm going to take my biggest one. Boy, I got this hot toes yoga mat, and it gets every piece of dirt on it. Oh, these dogs. Okay, so now I'm going to put down my biggest yoga mat, and I'm just going to keep building. I'm going to use this big one I built, right? The one that's not pretty. And that might be enough for me. I can also take this and mash it up. Now my arm's gonna come down ragdoll. If that's not comfortable, I can take my bolsters or something, put it on the side so I build up something for my hands to be on. See, I've raised the floor now. You can't really see it, but I put bolsters there. Now, if your knees are not comfortable in this, you can also roll up a towel, roll up a blanket, and put it underneath your knees. Like here's my bolster. I put it underneath my knees. That way, my legs aren't stressing out from being stretched too far. And you can always bring your feet closer together on this stretch. I have a wider V formation. So we want ourselves to relax. Once we get down here, ask yourself, can I lay here for 8 minutes? Can I handle this? All right, I just put those things under my knees. Feels a lot better, right? And if you need to like scoot your behind back, if you want to keep your hands up here. Now, once you get your head down here, you want to go sideways. I'm going to take my glasses off so I don't mush them. I'm going to start off, and halfway through this, if your head is sideways, I will call out to you to turn it the other way so you get a stretch because we're on a slight twist. Or you can just build up. Okay, deep belly breathing. Let's go. 8 minutes. You can turn your head the other way now. Last minute in the pose. Begin to deepen your breath, wiggling your fingers and toes, rotating your ankles and your wrists. If you're ready, you can push yourself up. Do a big stretch, bring arms up over your head. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Exhale, shake it out. Good. Now start taking your bolsters away. My big bolsters and my blocks, and I move everything out of the way. I'm gonna carefully bring my legs back in because we have really been stretching those. So bring them in carefully. Bring our knees together. We're gonna go back on our hands behind our back, and we're gonna windshield wiper those legs. Lumbar detox. Good for our knees. Remember, we're looking for that IV band. Go slow. Feel it. Feel that stretch. Okay, come back up. All right, so we went back, we went forward. Now we're going to go back again. And I want to do a hip flexor. So we're going to do tree. And what we need is a blanket for our head that is going to prop our head up just a little bit. So I'm going to put that back by my head. I'm just going to use my little head blanket, actually. And we're going to be doing tree on the ground. So I want to keep one leg straight and the other knee bent. So here I am. I'm starting on my right side. I don't know if you can see that. I have a bolster or a pillow underneath that knee, depending on how flexible I am. Now, you might be able to lay flat back in tree and your body is very open and you're super flexible and you don't need a support. In restorative, because we're going to hold it for so long, sometimes for some people, when you have that leg out and open for over 5 minutes, your leg will begin to tremor. It's a natural thing that happens to the nervous system. So I'm going to ask, even if you are super flexible, for you to put something underneath your knee, a pillow, a blanket, something to raise the floor a little bit for that leg. Now, your leg on your tree can come all the way up to your upper thigh. It can be at your knee because we're not using gravity. It's not dangerous. We're standing up, never put tree at your knee. You can put it at your calf. It might feel better since we're not fighting gravity here to try experimenting with bringing it up a little bit, right? If you're bringing it up and it doesn't want to stay or it hurts in the knee, it needs to go down, right? Now, we're going to be putting our arms open again, or if you have another bolster, you can put it over your head, right? Let's show how that looks. Another pillow or a bolster as I'm laying down. Now, it's not, I'm pretending I'm laying down. I'm going to have my arms up in that tree position, right? This is a lymphatic drainage. When I put my arms up over my head, I'm getting drainage from my lymphatic system down my neck. It's intense for some people. I have a shoulder injury. I have to put something underneath this part of my arm to support it too. So I have a blanket there, same as when I did my arm opener, supporting my injury, right? And then when I put my pillow up here, I'm still going to need something. See how my arm came up? Because it doesn't want to bend back, to bring that floor up so that I can rest in this pose. If it's too intense, to put your arms up over your head, keep them out here. Branches of tree. Breathing deeply. Okay, in this particular meditation, we're going to go 5 on each side. I want you to use your senses. This is our sensory meditation. Let me turn that off for a second. In a sensory meditation, and we'll start it when we go into it. You want to go back to that vastness. Get that part of your brain to go back into that vastness, whatever that means to you. And just do that for a minute or two of the meditation. Remember, we're doing it for a total of 10, 5 on each side. So we get ourselves to the vastness. Maybe that's a minute for you. Maybe that's all. And then I want you to tune in to one sensory thing. Maybe it's the sound you hear. Right now, if I'm very quiet, I can hear my dishwasher going. Maybe it's that sound. Maybe it's the sound of a bird. Maybe it's the smell that you can tune into. Maybe you can open your eyes, if it's not too much, and look at something on your ceiling. Remember, it's the sensing things. Now, maybe it's a taste that's in your mouth. And I just want you to focus on that and just notice that and spend at least 3 minutes just noticing that smell, that taste. I'll give you a cue for this, okay? And then I want you to go to the other part of tree. We're going to go into the other leg. We're going to go back to the vastness again on that leg. Tune into that vastness, centering ourselves. And then I want you to switch it to maybe something else that you could notice or feel or sense or see, right? And we're just going to meditate with that. And then on the next pose, the next shape we'll take, we'll try another type of meditation that goes into this sensing meditation of just noticing, just hearing or seeing or smelling or tasting and being with that. This can even be feeling too. Maybe you want to feel the mat or feel the air on your skin. That's a really beautiful meditation too, to just tune in and center on that feeling. So we're not going to that deep theta zone necessarily on this. We're really tuning. We're not going down any rabbit hole of how it makes us feel or I remember when. We're just being in the moment of, I'm just feeling the air on my skin right now. And I'm really going to work at that skill of being able to sense things. In meditation, we learn to tune out our senses, but we need to learn to feel our senses before we can tune them out. So that's where we're going right now. Now, a lot of times when I lay down in these poses, my dogs, this is Saoirse, they come and cuddle up with me, especially if I have the blanket, because they think that they're their blankets and these are their pillows. So that happens. I can feel that sense and it can bother me, or I can tune it out. Okay, so this is one of the reasons we're working on this sensory thing right now, is because we're going to learn to get better at being non-reactive. And we're going to do that by gently sensing, allowing ourselves to sense on a deeper level. Okay, I also like to have something on my feet when I do this, a little weight. So I'm not going to do much of a weight. I'm going to just fold up a blanket and I'm going to put it down on the lower leg. Remember, we're in tree, reminder. I'm going to get my biggest pillow or my biggest bolster and I'm going to put it over my head in case I can do my branches up on top of my head for a while. I probably can't do it for very long because of my old arthritic shoulders. And I guess if I would have a blanket for you, you would want to come do this with me, but yeah. Do you need to get underneath the covers too, Saoirse? We're going to switch it up here. We're going to tuck in so that Saoirse can get some rest, for God's sake. This poor dog, she's exhausted. Do you feel okay? Are you all right? Deep restorative. Let's see. 11:42. I did too much talking today. This is how we learn. So we've got the room till noon. Here we go. Gonna lean back. You're going to notice as you lean back that bolster underneath the knee might need to be positioned differently. I'm going to scooch down because I'm way too high up on my bolster. Coming down, got the knee open, got it placed on my leg. Saoirse's leaving me. Now Finn's coming. Open up those arms, either at your side, breathe, or up over your head in your tree, on your bolster over your head. Make sure you have your arms supported, your shoulders supported. Now go to the vastness. Think about the vastness. We're going to begin the meditation. First minute, relax your mind. Breathe into it. Deep belly breathing. Now pick out your thing that you want to sense. Maybe it's something on the ceiling that you see. Maybe it's the feeling of your skin on your pillow, or the feeling of the air on your face. Maybe it's the sound of birds outside, or a taste that you could taste in your mouth. Pick one and just notice it. Go, go, go thoroughly. Go beyond thoroughly. Just notice it. Last minute on the side, let yourself go a little bit deeper, a little bit further. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate your ankle. Breathe deeper. Deepen that breath. Maybe stretch the arms up over the head and down your body to your sides. Come out of the stretch. Bring your knee up forward. Bring your other knee up to meet it and windshield wiper back and forth while you're on your back. Stretching out. Opening. Using breath. Noticing. Keep those eyes shut. Keep them soft gaze. We don't want to come out of this deep relaxation. And when you're ready, take your bolster. Maybe you have a blanket on top of it. Maybe you have two bolsters. Put them on the other side. Move them on the other side of your body. Get into the tree on the other side. Remember, we want that hip supported, even if you're flexible. Experiment with where you want your foot placed on what part of your leg. Open up your arms to your sides. So bring them up to chest level, or put them up and over your head on the bolster behind you. Open up your elbows. You can rotate that straight leg out. Relax. Breathe. Open. Now with our sensing meditation, we're going to go back to the vastness. Get our brains back in that flow, that theta flow. Let go. Breathe. Picture the vastness. Whatever that means to you. Pick another thing to sense. Maybe you want to pick the same one. Try to just notice the one thing so that you're focused on either a taste or a smell or a feeling, a physical feeling on your skin or in your body, or something you can hear, something you can see, something you can smell. Try to notice just it. Don't let your mind wander. Try to keep it focused on that one thing this time. Don't strain, but try not to let yourself drift. Try not to let your mind wander. Come back to the one thing. Really see it. Really experience it. One more minute. Try to let go a little bit more. There's a place in your body that's tight. See it open up. Focus on that area. Pull in a deep breath. And let that stagnant energy go. Begin to deepen your breathing. Wiggling fingers and hands and toes. Rotating wrists and ankles. Keeping your eyes shut, bringing your legs together, bent up to the mat and windshield wiping back and forth. Carefully bringing your arms down to the side of your body, coming out of the stretch. We're ready. We're going to turn away from the bolster where you had your knee open so that we're in a fetal position on our side. And then rock and roll or push ourselves up, coming back to a seated position. Great. Well, we went over. I talked too much, so we're not going to do Shavasana today. But the final meditation, which takes about 5 minutes, so we're going to come back up to the seating position and do it for like 3 minutes. This is where we're going to keep our eyes open, just sit in an easy pose. Just kind of notice. We're not going to really stare at anything. We're just going to stare at everything. Just kind of be in the room. So, you know, I can look at the screen, or I could look down at something. But really, I'm just going to be in the moment, sensing everything. Seeing, feeling, hearing, noticing, tasting, smelling, and breathing. So this is an eyes open one. You can look around. Don't move your head, but you know, if you want to look in your vision, you can. Sometimes I think it's not about looking at one thing or hearing one thing. It's just about seeing and feeling and experiencing it all. We're just going to sit with that. Taking it in, staying in our bodies. Maybe it becomes about you feeling about yourself. Deep breathing or gentle breathing. And now let's open our gaze, become a little more consciously aware. Maybe bring our arms up over our head, inhale our arms up, exhaling them down into prayer. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhaling up, exhaling down to prayer. Inhaling up, exhaling down to prayer. Keeping them here at our heart. Bowing our head. Bowing our heads to our heart. This is something I heard for years in yoga and never really understood what it meant. What it means is that we're going to bow our intellectual knowing, our brain that thinks it has made sense of this card catalog, which is life. Everything's filed and labeled, right? We think we know. We're going to bow that energy to our heart that feels. Namaste. Thank you. I'm the only one that came, so I'm going to thank myself for being here, for putting this together. I hope this opens up a new doorway to teaching, to learning, to connecting. Namaste.